Good evening, everybody. Oh my goodness. Has to be my worst nightmare, doesn't it? So if the hiccups are still there, please forgive me. 2 seconds before I was about to come on, it was like, oh no. Hi, Suzanne, and thank you for passing on the message. Hi, Marlene. Hi, Donna. Good to see you. No, I just went and got a bottle of cold water, and touch wood, at the moment I seem to be okay. Oh my goodness, so embarrassing. But anyway, I'm here. And that's a start. Holding my breath, yeah. I should, but no, it seems to have gone off. I hope so, because that's dreadful. Oh, well, there you go. Alrighty, so tonight and tomorrow night, my live will be 7 p.m. because not usually 7:06 p.m. Because I've been called in to work for a couple of days because we have one of the people off sick. Hi, Tanya, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, so I've been to work today. There you go. So much for retirement, hey? So yeah, today and tomorrow. Then next week I'm not working, so that's pretty good. I thought I was going to be working on Tuesday next week, but I'm not after all. So that's really good. Alrighty, and then the next couple of weeks, 2 weeks after that, I think I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Probably the Thursday and the Friday. So we can make this work. We're strong, independent women. We can do anything we want to do. Alrighty. So this week I am going to be playing with blending brushes. And I did have a bit of a play last night to see how I went. And I was quite happy with the outcome. So that's pretty good. Now, before I do too much else, where is it? Where's all my information? It's all disappeared off my table. I don't know where it's gone. $60 join-up fee from the 1st of October for $235 worth of goodies. Oh, you're very welcome, Tanya. And yeah, great offer. I will talk more about it, later, more closer to probably Wednesday, which is the 1st of October. So, yeah, absolutely great special, which I'm sure we all know about. And we can still do the 169 and that's what I had to grab the piece of paper for, because I can't remember how much that's for. If someone can help me out with that. But yeah, absolutely brilliant prices. So great for joining up. I wish I could join again at those prices. Okay, so I'm going to go straight down to the desk, I think. And like I said, I'm going to be playing with the shading, and this is what I did last night. It doesn't actually show as brilliantly on the screen as it does with me. So I've used the autumn trees for this, and yeah, I was quite happy with how it worked. I may move the tree over just a tad tonight because it does just a tiny bit, you can see, come over the end. And oh look, a random, yeah. All right, so we're just going to have a little bit of a play with this tonight and see how we get on. So I've got the big tree die, which I'll be using. So you need to cut out the tree like that. You need both this part and this part, and one goes over. So if you were just to to put this part on, it just cuts it out in the middle, and because there's no cutting edge around here. Okay, so you really need this part of it to go on there to give you that cutting edge. I used this for the deer, and then I butchered it. So yep. And then I didn't use this last night, but I might pop it on there tonight and see how that goes. That gives us the little bit of extra dimension on the tree. And again, I didn't really use this last night. I'm hoping it's going to look like bushes or whatever, but I may not need it, so I'll see. So with the deer last night, although they come off in that strip, I sort of cut it around a little bit so that I could get the deer sitting under the tree, which is what I wanted to do. But I also wanted them to look grounded and not like they were floating up in the air somewhere. So let's get started. I have already cut the base, so I decided I would do it on a black card base, which I thought looked better. So so I've got that there, but we won't be using that for a minute. So we'll be getting the white so that I can do the that first layer. I did actually try it on the white last night. I put it on a white background and I went out and I said to my husband, you know, does it look better on the black or the white? He chose the black. I must admit I agreed with him. So that's what we're doing. So this layer is 5.5 by 3 3/4. So I'll just do the 3 3/4 by the 5.5. Let me check that because I sort of felt like it moved. I think it might have actually. Yeah, look at that. See? Anyone wouldn't think that would make a difference, would it? But it will. Okay, so now we have our starting point. So I've got my blending brushes here, which I used last night, and they do really need a wash, but hey, we'll just use them tonight for what I want to do. And I'm going to use so for the background blending there, I'm going to use early espresso, possibly pumpkin pie, possibly timid tiger, and then I've got daffodil delight. I definitely want to take the yellow up a little bit further tonight because I feel like there's a little bit too much white around here, and I might even put a sentiment on there, but last night's was just a play around, I must admit. All right, now what I also did was I got a scrap of paper and I used this on the card to give me the areas that I wanted. All righty, so what I can do is I can actually do it up. No, because I want that to go upwards, don't I? So what did I do last night? Actually, I did it this way to start with, and then I went over it afterwards. So just so that we've got some sort of starting point, I use the, so this is the early espresso, and I made an awful mess last night because I put it straight onto there. And then, oh goodness me, here we go. There's a good start. And then we're just going to dab some of that color off. And I'm just going to, this will just be the starting point, and then I'll color underneath it. So this will give us like the hill that I wanted, or the mound or whatever. And I can see me having to have another shower because I'm going to get filthy doing this. So you can see that gives us that. So all I want to do is go into here afterwards and just fill in some of that with a bit of colour just coming in from the edge and using the circles. And I'm just going to keep working it because I don't want it to be completely dark because I want to get that shape in there, but I also want to I want it sort of in the background, not too obvious, if that makes sense. So we'll just use a little bit of, and I might even come in from this other side so that I get some more of the, I just want it to be seen sort of like that, and I'll probably darken it up a little bit later. So what have I done with my wipes? This could be awkward. Oh, they're under there. It's right. I'll just take a bit of this off so that I don't get it everywhere, because otherwise it's going to go all over me and all over everything. So that sort of gives us that little bit of darkness where our tree is going to sit. And this is the fun part as far as I'm concerned. I love this bit, just getting this into place. So then I'm going to change. Oh, that's right, I didn't. I think I used cherry cobbler or real red. I'm not really sure which one I used last night, but just a bit of red. Any of you that are on my Facebook page will see that we get some absolutely beautiful sunsets here. And I was sort of trying to bring in the colors that we get on our sunsets. So just bringing that in, and down here, I want a bit down here as well. So I'm using cherry cobbler here, and I'm getting a few streaks, which is what I didn't want, but anyway. So just taking that up. Hi, Cherie, how are you? You were just starting to miss us. Hi, Kerry, how are you? Good to see you. So, yep, I'm just going to pop down and sort of blend some of that in with that brown that we've got down the bottom. And then take it on up. So I sort of want it to come up this way a little bit. But I also want some of this down towards the bottom there. Okay, so for those that have just joined, this is what I did last night. I'm trying to do something similar tonight. That's good. Nice to see you. Cherie, hi Ross, how are you? I love that little sunflower that you put up there. It's absolutely gorgeous. All right, so now I'm going to go with maybe I do the pumpkin pie or the timid tiger. Let's have a look at the pumpkin pie and then maybe do a little bit afterwards with the timid tiger. So when I look out at the back of my place here and I see the sunsets, and I often think, you know, you would never really think to put those colors together, and yet nature does it and it's perfect. So just going up here now with, I'm using pumpkin pie at the moment. So I want this one, like I said, to go up that little bit higher. But I also want it to blend in. I want a little bit of this color down in here as well. So we can keep the colors going in together. Oh, hello, Mum, wherever. Oh, there you are. I saw you. Let's have a look, see. A short visit, then bed. Okie dokie. All right, and then from there, I'm going to go into the, this is Daffodil Delight. So I want to bring the lighter yellow up, and tonight I'm going to take it right up because I want it to show above the tree. But I also want to blend it into that pumpkin pie that I used before. I don't think I need the Timid Tiger. I just want to go along this area here and have it a bit brighter. I also want to take it down into here. So I want to take this right the way up. And I just love the way it all blends in together. It just let's brighten this bit down here up a little bit too. You can see we've got a bit of a, maybe that needs a bit of the orange. Let's put a bit of the orange down in there. A bit more of the red. I'm not putting any more color on. I'm just using what I've got on the brushes. Like I said, you know, we don't really think that these colors happen, but they most definitely do. All right, so that is what we've got pretty much for the background. Mum probably won't stay with us very long. She'll go off to bed soon. And I just wanted that little bit of white there just to give that little bit of a difference. Alrighty, so we'll just leave that for now. Do you know, when I look at this on the screen, it looks like it's lighter in here, and it actually doesn't look that much lighter when I look at it. So I need to cut the tree. So everything is in silhouette. So of course it's being cut in black. So I will just put this down. Is that going to fit through there first? Yep. So I'll pop that down. Now I might be able to do a couple of things here at once instead of going backwards and forwards. Looks a bit like a bushfire. I hope not. I hope not. Hopefully once the trees and that are on, it will so this is that little bit of extra that goes onto the tree. So hopefully I can pop that through too. Let me have where's that gone? You know, stuff goes missing off of this desk for no reason at all. Before I sat here, I thought, yep, there is my tape. And where is it now? Gone. Now that is really weird. Let me look, see, and see if it's under here. Nope. All right. I'll just use some ordinary. Oh, is it under there? Nope. There it is. Look at that. Okay, I just want to pop this down. I'm not sure how this is going to work. I didn't use this when I was playing. Burning the cane. Yeah, they don't have as many cane fires these days, though, Cherie, do they? I mean, it's pretty much a non-existent thing. The gremlins, oh, you're not wrong. There's plenty of gremlins around here. Because they brought out that new cane now where they don't fire it. I remember years ago, when we lived in Mackay, we used to love sitting out on the balcony and watching the cane fires. Although the cane fires were good to watch, but the black snow wasn't as pleasant. So the black snow was when they burnt off the cane and you'd have all the bits of leaves and what have you that had burnt, and it would all float through the air, and we used to call it black snow. All right, I'm just going to pop this lot through all at once. And see how we go. So I went to work today to help out because one of the girls is off sick. And I haven't been in, for 4 weeks, I think we worked it out at. And it's so strange going in when you're not up to speed with, what's going on and what dogs we've got in and what ones we haven't and all that sort of thing, and temperaments. And yeah, it's really quite strange. So obviously I'm going to have to poke out a few of these little bits. I don't have the brush. Yeah, exactly, Cherie. You couldn't hang your washing safely once they started burning. We had a cat back then. It turned up on our doorstep, as they have a habit of doing. And it was in a pretty state. It had like a mohawk, and then it had one of its eyes was very weird and what have you. Anyway, I took it to the vet. My husband said, no, we don't need another cat. Well, anyway, I walked around the neighborhood with it and nobody wanted to know about it. So I took it to the vet to make sure that it wasn't carrying anything nasty, because I had other cats at the time. And it turned out that this cat had been caught in a cane fire, and he had had his ears burnt off, and lots of things. He was missing a toe, and obviously we kept him in the end. We called him Kit Kat, and we had him for years and years. But yeah, he had got caught in a cane fire. Basic and simple for you tonight's better. Oh, that sounds amazing, Tanya. Well, last night Kevin wanted sausages, and I'm not a sausage fan. I'm not very keen on sausages at all. And so I cooked myself garlic prawns, which were delicious, I have to say. And as he doesn't eat seafood, that worked for me. All right, so I'm assuming I've got to work out which way up that goes. I think it goes on there like that, but I will put that on afterwards. So just for now, I'm going to pop it up there. I've got all sorts of bits stuck in here, but that's okay. I'll do that later. I don't need to do that now. So I haven't got the brush for the end of my, yeah, he was lovely. He was a sweetheart. We had him for years. All right, so we've got the tree. We've got the little fuzzy bit on the top of the tree if we decide to use that. And we also have the deer, and I should have remembered to put that close to the edge, because it doesn't actually, if you look at this, I can take it off of there. It just literally cuts it like that. It doesn't cut it right out. So I will grab the scissors Now, I did butcher this last night because it doesn't fit all in one. So I butchered it so that I could make it fit where I wanted to. You notice my lovely little scissors that I've got here? There, that's better. I'll get those out. So this is the deer, but if I try and sort of fit it on like this, it doesn't work for me. So what I did last night was I chopped it, butchered it, and I cut it up, and then I put the pieces on individually. So I'll probably do the same now with it. I mean, it would be great if I could, I suppose I could get it to sit like that. And just pop that under the tree there like that. That would work. It was just, I didn't like this line. What do you think? I think we're having ravioli tonight. I don't know what to do with that. I could put it there, but that line worries me. Like when I cut it up, I didn't have the line per se. So we'll see. I'll chop it. I'll chop it. Oh, Suzanne, that sounds nice. So when I'm doing this, what I want to do is keep the deer's legs, but sort of cut it off of this strip. And then I did keep the greenery, sort of cut that off, and then I cut this little deer off here as well. So that way then I can build. Oh, I love chicken risotto, chicken Kiev. Oh, chicken Kiev risotto. Mmm. That sounds different. So sort of tonight it was if I added it to the bottom, it's just ground. Well, yeah, that's true too. But I sort of liked it when I chopped it up a little bit. I hate seeing it where, you know, you look at it and the deer looks like it's sort of sitting up in the middle of nowhere. So I think last night I did that, and then I had this one pretty much there. I wanted to move that over a little bit tonight. And then I used, this is like a little mound of something or other. I know I popped this tall one. I know I popped it sort of round about the tree somewhere. And then I had this one almost like that so that it, yeah. So that it just looked like it was a stone or a mound. And then just bring that deer down a little bit. And then I can bring this down a little bit. And it sort of all tends to, I think it works in a little bit better. I've got this piece of grassy stuff that I can stick on the end of the tree there if I want to. Yeah, that's right. You can do it either way. Okay, so basically now it's just a case of getting it. It looks a bit more like a sunset now, doesn't it? Do we think? Move it up. Move that one down. See, I can ground that one. That looks better. Put that one under there. That one behind there. When it decides it's going to do what I want it to do. What do we think? Does that look okay? So we'll do that. Now, I don't know who it was I was watching the other day, but I always used my, wherever it is, here it is, my silicone mat. That's not my silicone mat. Why can't I find it tonight? Well, that's weird. Do you know, I have everything just underneath the desk, so it should be there, and it's not there. And I didn't use it last night because I was being wicked and I had it all over the desk. Here we go. So usually I use the silicone mat. It looks good like that. That's good. All right, with the little piece of foam, which is great. But then I was watching someone the other day and she gets these silicone, for putting the egg wash over your food, your baking, and she cuts it off like this. So we'll give that a little go tonight and see how that works. Silicone mat is absolutely perfect for this sort of thing. Make sure I'm doing it the right way. Put some little glue down here. And then she just did this, which I'm thinking is just as good. And I don't get sticky fingers from this. Oops. Now we need to be careful because I've moved it. Maybe a tad too much. And I suppose you can rub it off. All right, so we'll put the tree down first, and it does have a little bit of the glue come through. I don't think it's enough to worry about. So there's our tree. And then we'll pop, we've got this little deer here, which, I did this last night and I want him to sort of be behind the base of that tree like that. So I'll just pop a tiny bit of glue on him. Preferably on the right side. Maybe I might go back to the other way of doing it. And I just want to pop him under there like that. So that's that one. Hi, Rose. How are you? Her homemade smooches. Oh, okay. Who did you say it was? You saw that too? I thought I'd give it a go. That would be Natalie. NB cards. Okay, I'm really not sure who it was. You know what? I watch so many during the course of a week because I really don't watch TV. So now I just want to sort of pop this one down, but I want him to be a bit lower. I was going to put that there and that there. So, all right, he's going to have to go there. And then I was going to put this little bit of, it looks a bit like a hump in the grass or something or the other. So I was going to pop that down the bottom tonight. just pop that right down the bottom like so. So that then gives us our deer and our tree. I'll just wipe that off there. Well, I suppose this is silicone too, so nothing really sticks to it either for that. Oh, do you? Oh my goodness. I can read. I'll read while I'm watching TV. Oh, sorry, I've got a glass of water here just in case those hiccups come back. Nothing worse than sitting down here just about to press play and you end up with hiccups, I can tell you. All right, so I thought I might pop this on here tonight just to give it that extra little bit of oomph. It's quite fragile. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it on the mat, but I'm sure I can pull some of this off. Yeah. Gotta love it, haven't you? Gotta love the silicone mat. I'll put that in the bin. And I got all the bits out of that. It's a bit hard to see. I think I have. I'll tell you who I did used to watch a fair bit. I used to like watching was two guys, Mituso or Misuto or something crafts, and they haven't been on for over a month, which is sad because I really like watching some of their stuff. All right, let's see how this goes on here. So that just gives that tree a little bit of dimension, which is really quite sweet. I quite like that. Yeah, from the UK. He says you can't do two things. Yes, exactly. Yep. I'm not a movie person. Oh gosh, if I said that, my husband would say to me, take your earphones out and either watch this or watch that. Who said Donna? Did you? Yes. Barry and Jay, that's the ones. Yeah, they have. They've been quiet for a month because I used to like watching them. I mean, I found that Jay was very quiet sometimes, as in like, you know, I would sometimes put my earphones on to listen. I just pop that little bit down there. Why not? I've got it there. I might as well use it. Let's cut that off of there. I bet now there's no glue on there because I've put it all away. This is going to be evil. So hubby's been Hubby's had the 3D printer working again. He goes through fits and starts. He made me the glue holder a while ago. So he's been fiddling around with doing some more of that sort of thing. All right, so what do we think? That's oh, where have I gone? What there it is. So that's what we've got so far. So does that look okay, do we think? Does it still, you prefer Barry because he does the 3D stuff? I don't think I've ever seen Barry make anything. Oh, wow. I've only ever seen Jay make anything. Barry seems to do the talking at the beginning, and then Jay does the crafting. All right, so next, basically, I'm just going to pop this. That looks ridiculous, Lorraine. Whatever made you think you could get away with that? I'll cut that off of there. So now I'm just going to pop that onto the background there. Thanks, Marlene. Thanks, Suzanne and Donna. So there's another lady, I can't remember, is it Iced Images that I watch on a Tuesday night, but she doesn't come on until about 11 p.m. our time, and I have to decide how tired I am. Yeah, that's right, Donna. To be honest, I've actually never seen him make anything, but I haven't gone back through his stuff, and I suppose I only started watching him maybe 4 or 5 months ago. But I love watching them all from the different countries. Probably not Donna. She's possibly gone to bed now. She watches for a few minutes, and she doesn't actually talk much. She doesn't type much because she's worried that she's going to spell something wrong or make a mistake. So she doesn't very often type much. She just says hi, but she sees everything you say, and yeah, she's very appreciative of all your comments to her. Alrighty, I'm just going to do an insert layer, so that'll be 5.5 by 3 3/4. Yeah, Ice Magic, she's good. Yeah, I like watching her stuff. I think it becomes a yep, that'll fit in there. So what I thought I might do is just for the insert, I didn't do an insert on the one yesterday, but just for the insert I might do the deer. Is he going to fit on there? He is. Let's just pop him in there. Oh, that's cute. I love deer. When we were over in the UK earlier this year, and we took Susie with us, a friend of ours, and we took her to where usually you can see deer, but of course, no deer, which was unfortunate. But yeah. Alrighty, so if I can find a small enough sentiment, I might pop it up there. This is Autumn Trees. I've had this one for a while. So it's a suite, and I think this is the one that comes with two lots of stamps and dies, but I didn't have any real reason to have the pumpkins, so I decided, hi Sue, oh no, never late. Oh, I'll have to go in and have a look because I work today. So yeah. So I only got the autumn trees and I got the paper, which was because I really didn't. I would have loved the it had an acorn, which was rather lovely, but yeah, it wasn't worth it getting it just for that. And I got these, so I think we've all seen these. And I love all of these with the foxes. It does have the pumpkins, and maybe I'll use them, but it does have the other side is quite sweet, so I'm sure I can use it. So that's one of the pumpkin set, but the other side is like that, so I can use the other side. But I really love the deer, the oak trees. I like, or I'm calling them oak trees. I like the foxes and I like the pheasants. So that was what drew me to it. And of course, I absolutely loved this big tree. Me too. Because the other one I have is the loveliest tree. Where's that one? I think it's called the loveliest tree. There. And I was so happy to see that this one's actually staying because it's sort of got, you know, a different shape. Actually, looking at that. See, maybe I had to get that out for a reason. I could actually stamp happy birthday up there. Dare I? Dare I risk that? Let me get the early espresso. You're going to have to wish me luck with this because I could mess up the whole thing. You love silhouettes? I do too. When I used to do my other card making, before I did Stampin' Up, I used to love doing silhouettes. Okay, wish me luck, people. Oh, did it. Look at that. So we have happy birthday up there. We have the little deer. So I'll pop that inside. I don't know where that had been. Looks like it's been through the... So I've decided this week to try all sorts of different blending. So we'll see where that goes. We might end up with a whole load of sunset looking things. Pop that over. And I think, God, I was lucky with that. Look what I got all around the edge there. Normally I clear that off. All right. So that is what we have. That's our sunset. In actual fact, it looks really light up here to you. Does it look light to you guys? Yes, absolutely, Tanya. In actual fact, I wish that it would be really lovely if we had like kangaroo, Joey. It's our secret, Cherie. We won't tell anyone. It would be great if we could have like a kangaroo with a Joey, maybe even an emu, a koala, you know, the animals that, you know, suit here. Oh, you like that? That's good. Thank you. I quite like it, and I'm really happy that that worked because I'd have been devastated if it hadn't. And there's our inside. Now, I personally don't think these sorts of cards need any other bits on there. Thanks, Suzanne. But we could always pop on a couple of, you know, bits and pieces. I haven't looked at Paper Rose. Should we even talk about it? You know what? I have stacks of stuff here that I tend to use it when I'm doing. Thanks, Tanya. I tend to use my older stuff when I'm doing, like, when I'm practicing, because I've still got loads of stuff from the shop. And yeah, so this was my one that I quickly made. Oh, how cute. Oh, you see, cartoony, I would prefer it to be like realistic. A star or two. No, that's right, Roz. And I think you're right. You know, like, yeah, it can't fit all our needs. A star or two. So where did we have stars? We had them in. So we've got a couple of stars in the piece on Earth, and I'll cut a couple of glittery stars out, and we can see. Oh, we can talk about what your evil twin does. Okie doke, we can do that. Do you think glittery ones, or do you think, what color do you think we should do the stars if we're going to put stars up there? Yes, they do, Cherie. You're absolutely right. I mean, I'm not complaining. I just, you know, you just suddenly think, oh, I'd like to do blah, blah. And then you realize that you don't have anything to work with. However, I used to use a company in the UK called Craft You Print. And you silver, Suzanne, yeah. And you can, they basically give you the background of a, where's all my glittery stuff? Silver sparkle, Suzanne, or flat silver? You like it just as it is? Let's just have a look. Or in saying that, what we could do is, instead of actually cutting stars, we could use the ones that come with these. We could possibly pop a couple of those. They've got white ones, so we could use those and just sort of pop them up just around. But I think I would just use the small ones. When you think of it, they've got so much really to think of when it comes to all the different countries that they deal with. I suppose it does make it hard. And we've got these little stars. Could pop a couple of these on there. Okay, so perhaps one down there. I think these look quite cute, actually. And one just up there. So it's not a lot of bling, and that's very unobtrusive, I feel. So, so yeah, we can do that. And then we have the inside. I don't usually put anything on the inside until I send them. Actually, quite often I leave them blank on the outside as well. So this one doesn't even have a, this was me mucking around last night because I was like, oh, I better do something because I'm not going to have time during the day to do it. So that's what I came up with. So that is my card for tonight. Did you like that, Suzanne? Do you think that worked? Looks good? Excellent. Excellent. Alrighty. I'm just about, it's like I have, look at these. I have some of these old stamps, and this is one of my favorites. And it says, life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely and attractive and well preserved. Oh, sorry, in an attractive and well preserved body, but rather skidding sideways, chocolate in one hand, wine in the other, body totally used up, totally worn out, and screaming, woohoo, what a ride. And I have to say, I used to make a lot of cards with this, and I used to do a lot of oh, sorry, those stars are hues of blue flowers. They're flowers actually, but never mind. And I believe they came with the Peace on Earth. Okay. Yeah, so this one I won't get rid of, but I used to make you love that saying. I used to do a lot of stitching on cards as well. Let me come up to the top because we finished the card. Let me pop up there. There we go. I used to do a lot of stitching on cards, and I had this stitching pattern that was a wine bottle, and it just it just had swirls coming out of the top as though you'd taken the cork out, and it had. And then I used to put this alongside it, this stamp alongside it, and I just love it. And I was going through my old stamps the other day, and I thought, no, I'm not going to let that go. And I've also got a lot of the ones, I can't remember. It's got the horse and the little, they're sort of, caricature type, but they're rather cute. But I do like that. They do look like stars, don't they? So, yeah, and it gives that little tiny bit of a shimmer. And I must admit, I do like it. Last night I didn't put that extra piece of the tree on this one, but tonight I did, and I must admit I like that. I might need to pop a tiny bit more glue, but I that does give it that little bit more definition. Count on me, animal outing. Oh, okay. Were they very long ago? I mean, I've only been doing it 18 months or whatever. So with this, I know that. No, I don't think I've seen a kangaroo one since I've been doing Stampin' Up. I suppose if you wanted to grab, some of the older ones. Oh, okay. The last 5 years, yeah. All righty, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate you coming on. I'll be on again the same time tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. And I have no idea what I'm going to do. So I might, after I've had my dinner. Yeah, it's okay if you want to use them for yourself, but obviously you're not really supposed to use them, are we, when we're demonstrating on here? Yes. Now, birds, I had actually thought of that because there's a couple that have got birds. I know the sailing one has birds. This one, and this one only has the doves. They're a bit big. There is another one that has the little birds with it, which is really cute. So, oh, wow. 2020. Okay, thank you, Donna, for coming in, and I really do appreciate everybody for popping in and saying hi tonight. And I'm glad I got rid of the hiccups before I actually came. It was so embarrassing. I actually messaged Suzanne and said, "Oh my goodness, I've got hiccups," and she laughed. Actually, I think Suzanne at the moment in hers is using the ones that Oh, bye, Suzanne. That, like I've got ones here that I have forgotten about. I bought them, never used them, and forgotten about them. And I think that's a brilliant idea. So I think you can do it more as like as a flashback type thing, which would be great. Alrighty, everyone, I'm going to go and have my dinner, and I hope you all have a great night or day, wherever you are. I'm going to go and have some dinner, and I've got to go to work again tomorrow. See, I've got out of that. And I will see you all tomorrow. Oh, yep. Well, that's good. That's true. Yes, that's what Suzanne's doing, all the stamps we forget to use. So I think that was a great idea. I've got a few here that I've bought and never used, I must admit. All right, good night, everybody. Thank you so much, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.